friends, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Fort Worth Roots.
I like the trip.
What? Go back. Don't skip that. What is this?
So this is...
Was this the one that's carved out of solid stone?
Yeah, so one of the things that I've wanted to do, and I didn't get to do it last time I went either, was
build your own temple out of solid stone?
What? Build a temple?
Out of solid stone? Is that what?
Yes.
Okay, we should do
and
that.
I was able to do that.
Okay.
No,
It looks amazing.
Weirdo.
You can find the Fort Worth Roots podcast on all your favorite streaming services, Pandora, Spotify, Apple Podcast, whatever. We're also on social media, just simply Fort Worth Roots. And that's good for Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. And we do have videos associated with these recordings on YouTube. That's also Fort Worth Roots. We're doing these things a little differently these days. You can find all the information about our sponsors and events and everything that we got going on at the very end of the episode. Real quick, I do want to tell you about this episode's sponsors, Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk. And you can find these guys at roofingsolutionshouk.com. Their phone number is 817-882-6520. They will give you 50% off on their roof tune-up. Remember to tell them that you heard about them on the Fort Worth Roots podcast. Another thing you'll hear about at the end of the episode is our September 10th event. That's going to be at Pouring Glory from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. All this stuff is in the show notes, but I will tell you more about it at the end of the episode. Our guest today is a world traveler that just recently got back from a trip to Egypt. And he went to a bunch of places, Cairo and Luxor and many, many more. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Did he ride a camel? He did. He's also the host of a very successful North Texas podcast that has won 2 years in a row the Fort Worth Weekly Best of Podcast. And they are scheduled to win a third year of Best Podcast in Fort Worth, and they need your help. So make sure that you go to the Best of Fort Worth and vote for the Funky Panther as the best podcast in Fort Worth. That's enough out of me. Thank y'all for being here. Give it up for my friend Chad Butler, and let's start the show. I call him Chad Funky. He's the host of the Funky Panther. He's also the co-host of the upcoming event September 10th at Pouring Glory. Chad, thank you for being on the Fort Worth Roots.
Man, thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Now you got to see all the behind-the-scenes bullshit that goes in before an episode.
That's amazing.
I couldn't get the TV working right. I got to investigate that. Apparently my browser is no longer supported by your website.
It's fine. You got things to work. There's a thing on the screen, and that's what matters,
we
right?
got a picture of you guys looking fabulous out there at Panther Island Brew.
Yeah.
Right before y'all's 100th episode.
Before you grace us with your presence on our 100th episode.
I can't stop kissing your butt, thanking you for having me out there. That was such a cool moment for me as a person and as a podcaster, because you guys know everybody. And you're like, you know who we want for our 100th episode? We want Andrew.
Of course.
Highest praise. There's nothing better than that.
I mean, it was great, and we knew you were going to do a great job, and it was nice to have you on, and we need to have you on again where it's more about you and not about us, but we really appreciate you doing that for us, sincerely. It was awesome.
You're very welcome. It was either Javier or Tim yesterday. We were at your birthday celebration and Jordan's.
Yes.
And we were at Concrete Cowboy.
Yes.
Their food was pretty excellent.
Y'all ate? I do not recall.
You were telling me that's a bit of a foggy place in your memory from yesterday.
Yeah, it absolutely was.
Well, I made it. You don't remember, so I could be lying, but
I remember your face being there, so that counts as something, right?
Yeah. So Javier or Tim had the idea that I'll be on your show, but I'm just supposed to sit in the corner and you guys are just going to talk shit about me nonstop. Like with me there, but I'm not allowed to say anything. Like I'm there, but nobody will ever know.
So keep in mind, they were also drinking. So not the best idea.
Everybody was having a great time.
It was a great time. Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Anytime you guys invite me, I've got the imposter syndrome, right? So anytime somebody invites me to anything, I'm just overwhelmed, and so I'm definitely going to be there.
Well, you shouldn't be that overwhelmed. Like, get used to it now. You know what I mean? Like, you're the dude. You're the dude.
I would like that's a goal of mine, to be the dude.
I think you are the dude.
Big
so
Lebowski?
just get used to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you just need to get long hair and the robe and sunglasses, and you'll be good to go.
I've pretty much given up on the robe, man. The sweater that you can buy, the Big Lebowski sweater. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
You can't get it anywhere.
Really?
And so I went into like some, I think it was like the dark web. Because it wasn't Amazon. It wasn't any of
Nothing for anything shady for a sweater. Nice.
The dude's sweater. It's not any sweater.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, it's unobtainable. And so I find it finally. They're like, we've only got 3 left, right? It's a lie. Every time you see that, it's a lie. But I clicked on it. I gave them my credit card, and then they shipped it to me. But then it said it wasn't going to be there for like 24 months.
24 months?
That was apparently their backlog.
A 2-year backlog. That's not insane.
A thing. And then I talked to some people. I found a guy. We were at Kate Greathouse's comedy show, and I can't remember the venue. And some guy had that sweater. And I ran up to him, and I was like, dude, I love your sweater. And he's like, man, thank you. Nobody else has said anything about it. Nobody knows what I'm wearing. And
yeah.
And I was like, well, I know because, and I told him what I told you. And he's like, yeah, I know. You can't get them anywhere. I got so lucky. The dude was from India, and he got it back home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
He, like, just stumbled upon it. But he was telling me, he's like, you can't find this anywhere.
That's insane. that is bonkers.
So, you're kind of razzing me earlier about having too many things going on, but that could be one other thing that we could project ourselves with, making those sweaters. Yeah.
So how far are you along in your 24-month journey to get your sweater?
I immediately canceled the order. And as soon as I saw that backlog bullshit, I was like, okay, I'm going to cancel my credit card. I'm going to file a fraud complaint or something. Like, they're not getting my money.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah. How much was it?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was enough that it would be a problem. Like $60 or $80.
Damn.
I'm not worth.
Okay.
I'm not going to give that away.
Right.
I don't have that kind of money.
I hear you. I understand.
So I'm going to ask you to do something that we don't usually do.
Oh, no.
I need you to pull open your phone and show me some of these pictures that you took in Egypt. You just got back from Egypt, and the stuff that you were putting out was incredible. And I need to know what was going on in these pictures. Like, give me the history behind it.
Really?
Yeah.
You want me to go through these pictures?
Just, you know what? Hit the high notes. You don't have to go through all of them.
Okay. Well, I've got 1,642 pictures here.
Good God.
So let's go
From
ahead
the
and get
trip?
started. No, just I probably do have pretty close
to
to
the ones that you described to me, you got to send to me because I'm going to put them on the YouTube video so people can see your excellent photography skills. You were an excellent photojournalist on your trip.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So this is my second time to Egypt.
Okay.
I have friends who I think you met, Jesus and Crystal. Zeus played a lot of shows here while he was here in
cool
July. But yeah, so we've been friends for forever. And a couple of years ago, they decided that they're going to go teach in Egypt. Like, I don't know why Egypt. I still don't understand. I mean, I get it. I get the love for it now. But, like, it was just they wanted to go somewhere new, somewhere they've never been before, and they completely picked up their life and moved out to Egypt to teach.
Yeah.
And so Jesus used to work for the railroad, so he didn't actually have a job lined up. He had nothing. His wife, Crystal, was going to teach. And he's like, well, I'll figure it out. I can, like, jam out at some clubs or something. I'll make a little extra money. Everything's going to be fine.
And she's thinking, your ass is going to get a job.
Right. Exactly. And so they go, and they've been there 2 years now. They absolutely love it. They're going to be there for another 2 years. And so I went last year, and it was great. It was beautiful. We got to do the pyramids and the stuff. But we went to the Red Sea, which, I mean, you don't think about Egypt and also being right next to the Red Sea, I think, or I didn't anyway. Sure. But the Red Sea is like one of the most beautiful bodies of water with like coral and fish out everywhere. It's crazy. And the visibility is like 100 feet. Like you could see forever, it seems like. So whenever I went last time, the moral of the story, where I'm trying to get to, is I really want to bring my parents. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they have never really left North America. And so I was like, I want to come back with them. And my stepdad's who got me into scuba diving when I was younger. And I was like, I want to bring him so we can go diving together.
He's got to see this.
Yeah, he's got to. And I didn't get to dive last time because we didn't have enough time. So that was kind of one of the big things we want to do on this trip. And then my mom was all down to like ride like the camel in front of the pyramids. Like she just wanted to do all the cliche things, you know what I mean, that you would do in all these like travel photos.
Did she start singing like Arabian Night from Aladdin?
No, but she's still pretty upset that we didn't do Walk Like an Egyptian. Like, she was like dead set. Like, she was going to make some kind of like reel or something on her Facebook.
That's Madonna, right?
I have no idea who it is. And I was like, Mom, I'm pretty sure that's going to be insulting somebody. Like, I'm not going to be walking like an Egyptian in front of people here. Like, that's just embarrassing. So, no. But so, yeah. So, I say that to say, like, she forced me to ride a camel. And
here, I'm putting this picture up because you're going to send these to me.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, here's a picture of Chad riding a camel in front of, is that the biggest pyramid? That has to be the biggest pyramid.
It is, yeah.
That is huge.
It's the Great Pyramid.
And it's an excellent picture, too. I was telling somebody the other day, like, you see this stuff on Nat Geo or you see it on TV or in movies and stuff like that, but having somebody that I know personally, a very dear friend of mine, in front of a pyramid really kind of makes it real.
Yeah.
I mean, so now I've got to go. And I am no fan of camels, so you would not catch me doing that. Did you have any bad experiences with camels while you were doing that?
No, I mean, I realized after getting up there that the harness was not like real secure, and so it was like wobbling a bit. I did not want to do that. I was kind of forced, but I'm glad that I did. It made for a good picture anyway.
Those must be just excellent, just very tame, very well-trained camels, because, I mean, camels are assholes, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, I think that they're assholes to the camels too. So like, I also don't want, I did want to do it because I'm like, oh, the poor camels, but they were fine. It was fine.
Yeah. Well, and I might be talking out of turn too. I don't know if Egyptian camels are the same as Iraqi camels, but I have to imagine that they're pretty similar.
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, same region, right? Yeah. I mean, it's going to be out there. So there's that one. This one's going to be my parents. That we were,
What are y'all standing on?
There's a road that goes alongside of the Sphinx. It's
okay.
like the one road that goes through this entire complex where you got the three. There's 9 pyramids, but the 3 big ones, and then like there's 3 small ones on each side. So there's like one road that goes through the entire huge. I want to say complex. I don't really know what else to call it.
Is that like a modern day road, or is that something they excavated and was kind of part of the whole thing from the beginning of time?
No, it's a modern day road.
Okay. Trying to put this all into perspective for myself, but that is just awesome. All right, next.
Yeah. Okay,
next photo.
Let me see. So there's the Sphinx.
There it is.
Yeah, no big deal. There's me in front of the pyramid.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant right there, which it's called the 9 Pyramids Lounge or something like that, I believe. And it's just like overlooks the pyramids, and like it has some of the best Egyptian food. It was nice and shady, and we were outside on this patio, and it was just beautiful. And so they also have this little platform in the back where you get to hang out and take some pictures in front of the pyramids.
What's the temperature like there this time of year? Because you just got back, and it was triple digits here. What was it like there?
It was the same, except dry. So, like, it was not bad, but it wasn't humid like it has been here. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so,
because you don't look like you're dying in this photo. Your face is a little red, but you don't look like you're miserable.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it definitely, if you're walking around and we were a lot, then yeah, you're sweating. It's hot, but it's definitely a little bit different than Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you find anything? Let's not go too far, but where we're at now in the pictures with the Sphinx and the pyramids. Did you learn anything just astonishing that you didn't know previously? Because they're throwing history at you the whole time, right?
Yeah, and it was kind of overwhelming because we did so many temples, and we did tombs, and we did all this different stuff, and we actually had tour guides telling us all the history, and if I could regurgitate some of it, I wish that I could, but like, it was just so much. It was a bit overwhelming.
Did anything kind of stand out to you?
Man.
Just knowing, because I think maybe I knew that there were more pyramids, but I think largely when people think of Egypt and the pyramids, they think of the 3 pyramids.
Right.
So there's a lot more going on there than maybe the general public realizes unless they've visited, right?
Right, yeah, absolutely. And you've got the 3 big ones, and you got 3 small ones on either end that are kind of broken down. You don't even look like, pyramids almost anymore. I will say that there's one thing that I learned, not specifically at this part of the journey, right? But like, we were at a temple in Luxor, and our guide was talking about how there was a lot of missing things from the temple, and we're like, oh, well, I'm assuming maybe war. I don't know what happened, right? And apparently, back in the day, say like, I don't know, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, some country would come in and they're visiting Egypt, and they're like, man, I really like this monolith. It's beautiful. And they're like, here, take it. And so they were just like giving countries things. And like now, obviously that wouldn't happen because they're trying to like cherish their history and they want to make sure it preserved. Yeah.
Back then they were just trying to make friends.
Right, exactly. It's bizarre. So you'll go to like Paris and there's like a monolith from Egypt, and there's one in New York apparently. Like all over the world, there's pieces of Egypt that was just given away at some point or traded for something bizarre. Yeah, it was kind of a random little factoid.
It'd be interesting to find out like when the culture changed where they kind of said, okay, we've got something precious here. We're going to stop giving this stuff away.
Right.
Like when did that change? Probably fairly recently, I would guess.
Assume so. Yeah. And now they are very much, like you said, preserving everything and making sure. And it's crazy too. I didn't realize that they're still excavating constantly and finding things constantly. Yeah. Like we went to also in Luxor, because I feel like a lot more of the history is not so much in Cairo. A lot of it's in Luxor, because that's where a lot of the Valley of the Kings is, where all the kings were buried and things like that.
How far is Luxor from Cairo?
I think it was about like a 8-hour drive, I think.
So you wouldn't want to take a camel?
No, absolutely not. We flew. It was about an hour flight. So
okay.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, next picture. Let's go.
All right, next picture.
Whoa, holy crap. Is that Disneyland?
No. So
what is this?
We were in Sharm, which is one of the diving cities near the Red Sea. And that is one of the mosques there.
Okay, so for those of you that aren't looking at the YouTube video right now, this is a mosque, but it is extremely intricate. Now, is this more modern day? This doesn't look like it was excavated.
No, it's modern. Okay. And like I just really loved the architecture. Like it's pretty bizarre. You got all sorts of stuff going on, like spiraling bricks and then these huge pillars, and it was pretty neat.
They take their mosques very seriously.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you had the North Texas mega church money, you could probably build one of these, but they're too busy building giant parking lots to house more people to bring in to donate to their cause. But the mosques are intricate and beautiful, and this is incredible. I can't wait to put that up.
I don't feel like we in America do a very good job of like having beautiful architecture, and I'm probably going to bite my tongue because I'm sure there's plenty of churches and things like that are just beautiful, right? But I feel like it's more about capacity. You know what I mean? Like it seems like a lot of times it's capacity. Yeah. You got churches in Europe that have got tons of history, and you've got new ones even that are just amazing to see in person. You know what I mean?
I'm sure you have, because didn't you say you've been to every state in the United States?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've probably seen you've been through them all in Washington, right?
Yes.
Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Did you ever check out the National Cathedral?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I can't actually say that it's got anything on the mosque that you're showing me here,
right?
But the National Cathedral in Washington D.C. is beautiful, and apparently was completely constructed by hand.
Really?
And they started construction with this thing back in the, I want to say, early 1900s, and it took all the way up till, I think, 2011 before they completely finished this thing. And it was halted because funding issues and wars and all sorts of stuff that put a halt to it. But as far as architecture and beautiful churches in the United States, that would definitely be one of them. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And just the fact that it was built by hand is incredible. So take that.
Okay, I told you I was going to bite my tongue. I knew I was going to be wrong.
And there's bound to be more. There's a show I just watched on a spiral staircase in I want to say it was a Catholic church, that they actually to this day do not know how it was constructed, because it is completely suspended by the tension in the pieces of wood. There's no support. Yep. There's no column. There's no wires or anything. It's just freestanding. I can't
I've been there. I've been there, but I was a kid, and I remember them telling us that, and I didn't really understand the cool factor of like, how is this a thing? You know what I mean? When I was a kid, and then now it's like, oh snap! I want to go back and check it out again now that I'm.
I'd love to see it too, because the video I saw on it was really hokey. Like the guy walks in and sets the scene and talks about the story, and then he walks up to the staircase, and as soon as he puts a foot on it, he's like, "Oh my God, I can feel how amazingly constructed this is." Like, shut up, dude. But I don't think you're actually allowed to walk on the thing. Like this was kind of a random
Right.
thing. Like he was
It was
allowed
blocked
to.
off when we were there. I
Yeah.
mean, they were talking about it, but you couldn't go
I'm
up.
not even sure you're supposed to touch the thing.
Probably,
but anyway.
yeah.
So they're thinking it was a saint or an alien or something. But
Yeah.
who knows? What is that?
So we were there at the Red Sea, and there was, we went diving for a couple of days, but then there's also this place called the Blue Hole, and it's you get in. There's like one place where everyone kind of gets in to snorkel or dive, whatever, and we were snorkeling at this thing. And you get into the water, and it just opens up. Like you're getting in between these two cliffs, essentially. Like when you drop down to the water.
So you're submerged at this point.
Yeah, you're getting down into the water, and then you're looking down, and all you see is like nothing for like 150 feet. Like it just
bro.
drops to nothing.
I'm out.
And so you're going through this like crevice, and then like the current kind of picks you up, and you can just kind of like go off of the current, and it pulls you all the way around this reef, like this wall of reef. Some of the most beautiful corals and fish, and like clownfish. And
So you're just going with the flow.
yeah.
Kind of like a lazy river. You're in a current. It's
Right.
pulling you around, and
Exactly.
you're not having to work for it.
No, and so you're just kind of going along, and so that was a picture of kind of like I had one of those bulb things for my GoPro where you can see above the water and below the water, so you can kind of
Nice.
get the idea of like it's desert, but then this water, like underneath the water, is gorgeous. Like, how is this a thing? It was
Wow.
pretty neat.
Pretty serious contrast.
Oh, yeah.
Contrast.
Yeah.
I said it right that time.
You nailed it. Then there's another one.
That's beautiful.
Of the corals. Yeah, super
Good
colorful.
God. I gotta zoom in on this.
I mean, I have been diving a few places, right? Like in the Caribbean, you know what I mean? Like Grand Cayman. Tim and I went on this, there was a ship that was downed in Grand Cayman that we dove a few years back. It was a lot of fun. I've been diving in like...
Intentionally grounded there?
Yeah, they put it there as a diving thing.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to be able to do that once. I've been diving in Tulum, like through caves, but... the corals and stuff that I've seen in the Caribbean have not ever been able to hit anything, even a few feet deep.
You took this picture with your GoPro?
Yeah.
And there's some onboard AI, like it automatically adjusts colors and stuff, but do you feel like this picture is pretty true to form, like what you saw?
Yes.
Yeah? That's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
That is incredible. It's almost worth the impending fear of a shark attack or barracuda. Like I don't know that I'll ever enjoy this in person, but thank you for risking your life so that I could see this.
So you don't like getting in the water,
So man, I've fished offshore,
right?
and I've pulled stuff onto the boat
Right.
that has convinced me I don't belong in that shit. You ever seen a barracuda?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'm out. Just that one thing, I'm out. And barracudas are everywhere.
Yeah.
There's different types of barracuda.
We've been
all
down
over
in the
world.
Keys, and they're like like a ton of them.
They move like lightning. By
Yeah.
the way, I'm like okay with sharks. Like I don't think they're great, but I think I could deal with a shark. Barracudas are something out of a nightmare.
See, I'm not even worried about the biting fish. It's more of the poisonous shit that's everywhere.
There's that
You know what I mean?
too. Yeah.
So,
or scrape the wrong piece of coral, right?
Right,
Because they've
right.
got poisonous coral too.
Yeah, one of the places. I mean, when we were diving, there was a lionfish, which are extremely poisonous,
Oh, yeah.
right? And the thing was like the size of a basketball. It was huge and bigger than that, even. I mean, it was just ginormous. And I was like, okay, well, that's. I mean, if that thing comes near me, right, like I'm probably going to be dead. But
Yes, you would be.
But I never saw sharks. I mean, if there were barracudas,
Because they're getting away from the lionfish.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But no,
It's their block. That's their territory.
that stuff doesn't bother me. Like I love being in the water. It's like you're in space. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just like this whole unexplored. I mean, a lot of it's been explored,
And
but
maybe if I got in there and just kind of quit bitching about it, maybe I'd be all right. And what's so funny is I was just talking to somebody. We did an episode where I was telling them like I don't have a fear mechanism. Like there's so many things that I do that people are like, "Are you out of your mind?"
yeah,
And it just never registers with me. But I mean, when I think about getting in water, I have so little control.
right.
And I'm kind of a control guy. You might have picked up on that by now.
no, I haven't noticed, Andrew. Not at all.
You shut your mouth. It's not your turn to talk. But I mean, a barracuda has got absolutely the advantage in the water. I can't do anything to that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but what is he gonna do? I mean, like eat your whole arm off? Like, no, you're gonna be fine.
Hold on. Did you know that they have an anticoagulant in their saliva? Now,
didn't know that.
now, why would that be important, Chad? You were just in the water. Tell me why that might be important, Chad. Because you'll
fine.
bleed out and die.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
And so the first time I pulled a barracuda onto the boat, I went to go like stick it so that it wouldn't be flopping around and end up back in the water or whatever.
Right.
And the deckhand, this barefoot 19-year-old kid, comes over and slams me into the side of the boat, like up against the wall. He's like, "Don't move!" And then they killed it. And he came back to me later. He's like, "Hey, man," and I didn't really get my feelings hurt, but he came back and he's like, "Hey, I wasn't trying to be a dick. It's just somebody got bit by one of those last trip, and Coast Guard had to come out. It's a 2-hour flight for them, and he almost bled out because
Holy
that
crap.
animal has an anticoagulant in its saliva." He said it took a swipe at him, and it just bit out a chunk of his calf, and he could not stop bleeding. And when you're out there deep sea fishing, you're really far away from any kind of help.
Right.
The Coast Guard is your best bet, and it takes a while. And if you don't make it, you don't make it, dude.
Yeah.
And whenever he told me that, it just kind of lit something up in my brain. It was like, okay, nope. No more.
How often do you go fishing?
I haven't been in a decade, dude, but it's the way to go. Like, it killed freshwater fishing for me because it was so, I mean, I fought a tuna for maybe 30, 45 minutes. I'm probably exaggerating, but that's what it felt like.
Right.
I had 1,000 foot of line out, and I'm just crank, little half cranks, you know, just trying to get that huge bastard up on the side of the boat, and they flatten out, and you're pulling half the ocean with them. And it's a fight.
And your smallest snapper is your biggest freshwater fish. I mean, it's like, there's really no comparison.
No.
Like, it's so much more fun. I'm with you. And they taste better.
And we were cutting up chunks of sushi right there on the boat.
Yes.
Less than an hour after it had been caught.
Heck yeah.
We came back with so much fish, and you know how those boats are. They've got huge coolers in them. Mm-hmm. And we had so much fish that they ended up having to get rid of some of it.
What?
You're not allowed to come back. Like, each boat with X number of people on board, you were only allowed to carry so much fish, like by the pound.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, they're like, well, we got to decide what we're going to keep because...
Holy crap.
So, like, you know, Linda caught 10 yellowfin, and then Bob caught 20 blackfin. It's like, well, we're going to lose some blackfin. We're going to keep the yellow because that's better food anyway.
Right.
Anyway, I'm getting way off topic, but not big on the scuba diving just yet, but I've never done it, so who knows?
So yeah, I got a couple of water pictures because that was one of the highlights of the trip.
What? Go back. Don't skip that. What is this?
So this is...
Was this the one that's carved out of solid stone?
Yeah, so one of the things that I've wanted to do, and I didn't get to do it last time I went either, was
build your own temple out of solid stone?
What? Build a temple?
Out of solid stone? Is that what...
Yes.
Okay, we should do
and
that.
I was able to do that.
Okay.
No,
It looks amazing.
Weirdo. No, like Petra is in Jordan. It's not in Egypt, but it's kind of close enough to where it's like you could do this day trip, and they basically pick you up in a bus, and then you grab a water taxi, and then another bus. Definitely still not a camel.
Okay,
so yeah, we're still past the camel thing.
Sorry about that.
Never rode a camel after the first time, so don't have to bring it up. You know what I mean?
Don't have to
not
ask.
Not going to happen. So I mean, it was like this whole day. Like they picked us up at 2:30 in the morning. We didn't get back till midnight. Like this is a big, long day.
Okay.
So I thought that Petra was like literally just what I know now as the treasury. I thought it was like one thing, and that was Petra. But apparently, it's this whole valley.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's this whole valley of like carved structures like this, and like.
Does this one have a name?
Probably.
Oh, no, Chad. Excellent photojournalist.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. I was there for the treasury, which was just kind of, I mean, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. But
so you're telling me something this amazing, and what we're looking at, folks, is a temple, right?
Yeah.
It's a temple that was carved out of one piece of stone, and it is at least 4 levels tall.
Yeah.
And it's pretty damn intricate for something that got carved out of one big rock. But this was just a side note.
Oh, yeah. This was like on the way to.
Did y'all just cruise right by this?
No. I stopped and took a picture.
Well, I didn't know if maybe this is like from the tour bus or whatever.
No, we were walking, and it was not. I mean, the walk down was great, and I like hiking and stuff, and so I knew I was like, this is all downhill.
Yeah.
Coming back is going to suck real bad. But we're walking. I think it was about 1.5 miles, 2 miles to get where we were supposed to be going.
Bet you wish you had a camel.
Yeah, I do, actually, or I did. But, you know, we're walking and you're passing things like this, and the guy was talking about how, you know, back whenever there was, like, the civilization down there, they would use kind of that leverage like that downhill to put like pipes in the cliffs and stuff so they can get water down there. And so we actually got to see like the clay pipes on the side of the rocks and stuff like that, which is kind of neat.
Would you call it an aqueduct?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that, and then that's just, you know, me in the valley there.
Also very cool.
And then there's the main course. That's the whole reason I wanted to go.
And this is all in Petra.
Yeah, this is the treasury. This is when I do know a little bit about this one.
Okay,
so
excellent.
My history awful, but this one, so you know, they were doing a lot of artwork on walls and things like that. And with the treasury, you know, they realized that if they do a bunch of artwork on the walls, it's not going to last. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to deteriorate and erode and go away and all that jazz. And so they're like, we need a place that's going to protect the art that we're, you know, putting together, and like the pots and things like that. And so they built the treasury inside the rock there at basically the bottom, right? Like, not the furthest down, but it was a long walk.
Yeah.
And so inside there is where they put a lot of their artwork and things like that.
And what we're looking at in this picture, this is also carved out of one piece of rock.
Oh yeah, it's just like in the mountain there, like the cliff. Yeah.
Where do people find the time? You know. So what would be the approximate date? Do you remember that? Like when this was kind of constructed? No.
Nope.
But a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Did you go inside? Do we have pictures inside?
No, they have it blocked off. You can't go inside, but...
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're telling you about how amazing this art was that they were preserving. Oh, can't go inside.
Yeah, but no, we didn't get to go inside, but we got to take pictures, and there were camels out there. You could get on them, but we did not.
Not a chance.
I just took a ton of pictures of that. And then there was also... there was more down there. There was this big stage with seating and things like that down there, and then more holes in the rock where people, I guess, used to live and all this kind of stuff. It was pretty cool to see.
So when you say stage, was there like a venue there? Like you could have events and stuff?
I mean, they did back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. But it's not set up for like Lady Gaga or Justin Bieber.
Who knows? if anyone would do it, it'd probably be those two. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, Bieber to resurrect a dead career, and Lady Gaga because she wears meat suits to concerts. So.
I forgot about that. That was weird.
Oh, yeah. I'm that age group.
And then after, so we did Cairo for a day. We did the pyramids. We went to the Red Sea. We went to Petra. And then we went to Luxor, which was really, really kind of a cool deal. We met this guy.
Is this Luxor?
This is the Luxor Temple, yeah.
Okay.
So we were in Luxor, which is the city that has got more history than Cairo, I think. There's a lot going on there. And we were lucky enough to have a really good tour guide, but also he owns the Luxor Times there. And so he was telling us all this different stuff. He's kind of a big deal. I kept giving him crap, like, okay, so you're famous then, yeah? He's like, no, stop. And
you didn't try to get him on your podcast?
When the hell did I have time?
Hey, crude audio with your phone. I don't know.
No. But super nice guy. We ended up like hanging out with him and drinking that night and watched the Egypt match because he's really big into.
Do you remember his name?
Mina. Yeah.
Mina. Oh, did you already say it?
I may have.
I might have just glazed over it.
Yeah,
okay, shout out
right.
Mina in Egypt. What's up, dude?
Great guy.
Be on my podcast.
We saw him like every day. So also did not realize, I mean, you could probably do it over, the internet, but I didn't realize it was so hard to leave the country when you're not just in America.
Like customs or?
Yeah, like getting a visa. Like getting a visa and going anywhere. So like all these guys that I met that were like English speaking or they, owned the Luxor Times, kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
He said he's been trying to come to the U.S. 3 or 4 times just to visit. I'm like, to move? He's like, no, just to visit. And they've turned him down 3 or 4 times.
Whoa.
And I was like, well, where else have you gone? He's like, well, I tried to go to Europe as well, but they're worse than America about getting a visa. And
Who's
here I
racist
am
now. Damn.
I mean, us. Apparently. Was that in question?
Sorry. You're
You're
not the right tone. You were going to have to wait.
Right, of course.
That's ridiculous.
I have not realized how much I've taken for granted our ability to travel and go to countries on a whim. I mean, as long as you got the money, you can go and travel a different country. And even if they had the money, even if they had the means, they can't just get up and go to different places.
The first time we felt that was COVID, right? I mean, that's the one time that it's ever been like, well, I don't know if we can go right now.
Right.
You know?
This is bizarre. The whole, Australia's cut off, and I can't go to Australia. It's ridiculous.
I didn't even want to go to Australia until just now.
But I do now.
Thanks a lot, COVID. Yeah.
But yeah, so he showed us around the Luxor Temple. We went to a couple of different things. We saw the Luxor Temple. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I guess we're going through the pictures.
Yeah, we're going through the pictures.
That was Luxor Temple. The next day, we did a hot air balloon.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, the day you came back, I saw that picture post. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Chad.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do, they got the big hot air balloon festival in Albuquerque, right? Like in New Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge.
I think it's the biggest one, right?
Yeah. But I've looked into it, and like a hot air balloon ride is not cheap. Like you're talking $400 or $500 probably, right? And it only fits about 4 or 5 people. Mm-hmm. Well, these hot air balloons fit like 20 people. They're huge baskets, but they're only like, I think it was $65-$75 a person or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're not going to do this, right? And so we did it, and it was kind of amazing because most of Egypt is a lot of desert, right? But there in Luxor, they've got the Nile, and they've got their own like tributaries that they've pulled away, like for the farms and stuff for irrigation. And so there is a ton of green there in Luxor. But then there's a hard divide, which I think there's probably in one of the pictures. Like you can see green, and then behind the green, it's just like desert, mountain and desert, and that was it. But it was pretty cool experience. It did not last. I mean, we were only up in the air for an hour probably. Yeah. But I mean, just being able to fly over the temples that we were just about to see, because we hadn't seen some of these temples yet. We got to see them from the air first, understand kind of their placement, location, and then when we went to go do it later in the day, it all kind of made more sense. It was kind of neat.
These pictures are just insane.
Yeah, see that divide? Like there's all this green, and then it's like a very
there's a wall there.
Obvious.
There's a very big wall.
Yeah.
Not tall. I mean, it is tall. It's not amazing how tall it is. It's amazing how long, and like it's solid. It doesn't look like you can get through it. Like there's no gates or roads or anything.
Right.
Damn.
But yeah, a lot of pictures of that. There's another one. So this one, this temple is called Hatshepsut.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
They also call it like for Americans that are not able to pronounce Hatshepsut, they say hot chicken soup, and then you'll be like, oh, hot chicken soup. So
you tell funny.
This is the Hatshepsut temple. It was pretty, not a whole lot going on. Took a few pictures, but yeah, not a whole lot of. I didn't know all the history there either. And then this one was the Karnak Temple, which is another temple.
So, real quick before you go on, for those of you that are just listening and not looking at the video, now we're looking at a picture of him basically staring straight up at just a ton of columns with intricate Egyptian hieroglyphs and carvings, and just incredible. Y'all have to see these pictures. So if you don't see them on the YouTube video, go check out Chad. It's all on Instagram, right?
Yeah, Go Chad Go.
Go Chad Go.
Yeah.
And you can see these pictures, and you'll see that I'm right, that they're incredible.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. It was such a great trip. I mean, like, it was great to be with my friends and get to hang out with them, and then get to see their friends, because you get in the situation where you're traveling out, or you're moving your whole life to a new country, and you've got all these other expats that are doing the same thing. And so you got people that work for school districts, or you got people working for the U.S. Embassy or whatever, right? And they're all just traveling every 2 or 3 years. They're going new places. Yeah. They're going to Thailand. They're going to Paraguay. It's just pretty cool to meet these people that are very all like-minded, like to travel, like to do their thing. But I don't know. When you get there, you understand, one, why they've been in Egypt for 2 years and want to stay another 2 years because it's gorgeous. But then also that they've got that kind of support system built for them with everyone else that's doing the same thing.
What's culture like? I mean, you got to do all the touristy stuff, but I'm sure that they're not staying in Egypt for another 2 years just because they like the touristy shit.
No, they didn't do any of that stuff with us. Yeah.
They're like, not seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy your walk.
Yeah, they've actually...
Don't touch the camels.
Crystal, Jesus' wife, she's actually putting together a PowerPoint of like, if y'all come into town, this is everything you need to do.
Don't even
ask me. Like, yeah, because she's done it so many times now.
Right.
Which, they were great. They set everything up for us. Like drivers from the airport. I mean, like, as long as you've got a couple people's number there in Egypt, they'll do everything for you. It's crazy. I need a mattress. I'll be there in an hour. What? Like, it's just crazy. But,
So
yeah.
English, prominent language there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite a bit. I mean, definitely Arabic is going to be your primary, right? But like, especially where they're at, because they're in that expat kind of area, there's a lot of English-speaking people there. But yeah.
Did you try to learn any Arabic? Can you speak any words?
Shukran, Habibi.
Does that mean where's the bathroom?
That means thank you.
Oh, good.
Habibi is kind of like a term of endearment. It's kind of like love, but friend also.
Probably don't
it's
want to
like
go
bro.
around saying that to strangers,
Well,
right?
Yeah, no, you do.
Yeah?
I mean, it's kind of crazy that, you'll see guys locking arms and walking down the road together just because they're friends, or holding hands, dudes holding hands because they're just buddies. So no, you say Habibi whenever you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very accepting culture.
Yeah.
Nice to know.
Well, not accepting.
Well, yeah. Like, can't show the bottom of your foot, right?
Right.
What other social abnormalities are there? Not abnormalities there, but
Right.
abnormalities here.
Well,
I know
mean,
you're not supposed to show the bottom of your shoe, right?
that probably is true. Maybe? I don't know.
What are some other ones?
I know, like especially like in temples and things like that, women are supposed to make sure that your knees and your shoulders and stuff are covered.
Your sexy knees.
Right. Ooh, girl, show me them knees.
Dirty
Show me them
shoulders.
knees. But I mean, if you were, a lot of that country is primarily Muslim too, so a lot of Muslim women completely cover head to toe almost, even in the water. Like, we'll go to the Red Sea and you don't see bathing
Totally
suits as
covered
much.
up,
They're
yeah.
completely covered head to toe.
That's really not that far-fetched from, certain denominations of Christians here in the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, the face covering, that's another level, but Church of Christ, I grew up in that as a kid, and women were supposed to keep the dresses a little longer.
Yeah.
I don't think you could show off those beautiful shoulders either.
Right.
I think those had to be covered up.
Please cover them shoulders up.
So-
God dang.
I mean, that's part of that religious culture.
But it's really not that bad. I loved being able to learn a little bit about it, but you definitely, with something that's kind of neat, is you'll hear the call to prayer multiple times a day. So you've got you're essentially like your tornado sirens throughout all of the city, the country, and they're all going off. I'm sure experienced that, right? Yeah. So
no stranger to that.
Yeah, and so it's loud and it's all over the place, but that was kind of neat hearing that for the first time last time I went.
Yeah, my pretense was a little different, and we got certain bits of information that were terrifying, and so whenever we would hear things like, this is back in 2005, and I was a kid, and we were there to do soldier stuff.
Right.
So whenever we'd hear those mosques start blaring, like you said, it's like tornado sirens.
Right.
And you can hear it from miles away. It's a little eerie under the right context. But
yeah, I would not like to be in your shoes in that situation. I mean, in my situation, I obviously was like, ooh, that's different. That's cool. That's interesting. I want to learn more about it. But I could definitely see how.
And I feel the same way now. And like my second deployment, I got to spend a little bit of time in Kuwait City, and there's no action in Kuwait.
Yeah,
it's very well protected. Nothing really crazy going on there. And whenever the mosques would start playing their call to prayer, or whatever you call it, it's interesting. You feel the culture. Kind of brings everything into focus. So.
Right.
Definitely not scary the second time.
Man, I loved the food.
The food's incredible. I don't know about Egyptian food, but just
I realize that a lot of the food in that region are all just very similar. Like your Mediterranean, like a lot of fresh vegetables, like cucumber and tomato and dill, and then all your dips, like your bean, your hummus, your baba ganoush and stuff like that, and then the bread. So good.
I think if American food, if you go to any one restaurant or establishment, they're really heavy on one kind of flavor, one kind of spice. They cook with one kind of oil or whatever. It all kind of tastes the same. I don't know. But then what you're talking about, every single thing you pick up has got an entirely different flavor profile or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So, very interesting stuff.
It was good. It was good stuff. I already missed it.
So when are we going to Egypt?
Let's start by going to King Tut's on Magnolia and get you some Egyptian food. Have you been there yet?
It's on Magnolia. I don't think I have hit that.
It's
one.
right over there by the hospitals.
I'm down
on that side.
Yeah,
it's good. It's been a while since I've been, but now that I've been to Egypt, I want to go back and see how, I'm sure it's like super authentic. But the first time, I didn't know. I just was like, "Ooh, this is delicious," but I had nothing to compare it to, and so I want to go check it out again. There's a couple of good
Mediterranean places around here. There's one, and I'm not going to say the name, but there's one that I went to recently that I will not be going back to.
Oh no!
But it's just because there are some really good Mediterranean restaurants around here. And the one I went to is not on that list.
Gotcha.
So,
what's interesting is like, growing up 10, 15 years ago, Mediterranean food, would you know what Mediterranean food was 15 years ago?
I still don't know how to accurately describe it.
But you know what it is,
yeah,
though.
I do now. But yeah.
It's crazy that, like, back, I want to say 10, 15, really like 15, 20 years ago, especially here in Fort Worth, it was like Mexican food, barbecue, steak. Like, that was your and Italian.
Right.
But your Italian was Olive Garden, where if you go there, you know what you are, your family. So, but like now
you can have many breadsticks as you want because you're family.
Right.
Yeah.
But now we've got all these different places that just, you could really understand culture even here in Fort Worth because we've got food from all over the world, which is kind of nice. It's pretty neat.
There are some things, and I can't remember who brought it up the other day, but there's a genre of food that we don't have here. And I don't even know why I'm bringing it up because I can't remember. But
nice.
There are some.
Well done, sir.
There are some cultural delicacies that we don't have here yet in Fort Worth, and you have to go to like Plano or Dallas to get.
Yeah, I believe that.
It'll make its way here. And the reason that we got so culturally inundated from all different types of food is because we showed up on the radar as like the place to be if you have a restaurant.
Really?
Because we like to eat. And this is not really, it's not really the title that I think is very sexy.
Right.
But, the word got out that we spend money on food. And so, overnight, like you said, over the last 10 years, we got just about everything you could ask for right here in the DFW area.
Yeah.
So
it's nice. I remember when sushi was exotic. It's like, ooh, sushi.
Get it at a gas station now.
Yeah, I know, right?
You don't eat that sushi.
No, you do not. I mean, you can, but you won't. You'll hate yourself for it.
That reminds me, you got mummy tummy on the way back. You remember telling me that yesterday?
Yeah, I do not, but I have been saying it because yes, I did. I was so proud of myself because last time I went, I got sick hard, like real bad.
Hard.
I got sick hard, and this time I was like good the entire time, and then as soon as we start coming home, it hits, and so I've not been 100% yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't help that we drank literally all weekend for my birthday.
Or did it? Maybe your condition would be much worse if you hadn't sterilized.
I don't know. I don't know if that was sterilization at all. That was just, I don't know.
So, your birthday just rolled through, and the big 4-0, you're over the hill now.
Shit.
And so what's that feel like? I mean, you're basically dead now.
Younger than you, but okay, let's start there. It was good. It was nice to come back, and like it was so good to be with my family and a couple of my friends out there. But like coming back and having a birthday and recharging with the people.
Yeah.
That I like being around people. I feel like you like being around people, right?
I like being around the right people.
There it is. Okay. And being around the right people and having that kind of recharge, it was nice to have that this weekend. But now I think I'm done for drinking for a minute. It was a lot. It was a lot. It's a fun weekend, though.
Well, yeah, I caught y'all kind of, I want to say in the middle, but I don't know how long y'all stayed out.
Yeah.
Because I came in around 2:30, 3 o'clock, grabbed something to eat, and then I was out. And right when I left, and mind you, I was on a motorcycle.
Right.
It just started pouring.
Dude.
It was just pouring.
Yeah.
And it died down just long enough for me to get back here to the studio. So that worked out.
I'm glad you made it back safely. Because, it was bad. It was bad.
So did y'all start off at Concrete? No, Bottled Blonde?
Went to Bottled Blonde. Okay. We're playing some beer pong, drinking towers, ate some food, went to Concrete. And then I went over to Rabbit Hole afterward and then went to go eat at Sheba Hut. I made it home around midnight.
What is Sheba Hut?
Sheba Hut is like this new sandwich place off of Magnolia as well, kind of over there by King Tut, actually. Mm-hmm. And they kind of specialize in this whole kind of like a weed gimmick. I don't know. There's like a lot of pot and like references and stuff like that in the place.
Okay.
And if I recall, again, it was a long day.
From what you remember.
From what I remember, I believe that a lot of the sandwich names were also kind of like had some like weed gimmicky things too as well. But the sandwich was great. I do remember the sandwich being great.
What was the name of the sandwich? I imagine they have one called the Willie Nelson and the Bob Marley.
Probably. I don't remember. I just remember it tasting good. But I got an Uber, and he took me back to 7th Street, and he almost didn't make it. Because the roads were so flooded at 11 o'clock last night. And there was cars just abandoned all over 7th Street.
They're still sitting around town.
It's crazy. I've never seen it like that before in my life.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad enough that they were putting out emergency warnings like life-threatening. Don't leave your house unless there's an emergency.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Yeah.
And I saw a video online, and it showed somebody taking 3 glasses, and they dumped one over on ground that had not received any water in a long time, so it's dry and the grass is dead. And then they took the other 2, and they put one on kind of moderately watered grass, kind of green. And then the third one was on like a flush green, St. Augustine, like really pretty grass.
Right.
The one on the pretty grass, the water, whenever they turned the cup upside down, it just disappeared immediately.
Yeah.
The one in the middle, it was much slower. And the one at the end almost didn't move at all. It took forever for the water to get through that dead grass and that dry soil.
It's basically rock at that point, right?
Yeah,
it's been so dry here so long.
And it just glides over the top. So whenever we have a period of high temperatures and drought-like conditions for an extended period of time, and then we get a shit ton of rain in a very short amount of time, floods. I helped one kid push his car out. He, hopefully he doesn't hear this, but he got flooded out. Then he tried to start his car, and it started for a second, and then it died. And then he tried to start it a third time, and it wouldn't. Oh. Well, his exhaust pipe was underwater when he did all this.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I watched this from the 4th floor of the parking garage. This was actually on Wednesday when we went to Amplify 817.
Yeah.
And formerly known as 817 Day. Shall it rest in peace. Anyway, so I'm watching this kid do this, and I'm like, I need to go down there and help him. And I get down there, and sure enough, the water is like a foot. The sidewalks are gone. And so I just, okay, your feet are going to get wet. Just deal with it. And I walk out there. I was like, put your car in neutral, man. He's like, what? I'm going to push you into that parking spot. Put your car in neutral. And he goes, will that work? I was like, yes. What? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well,
anyway,
what work?
So he's like, I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, turn your key, okay, and then put your foot on the brake and shift it to neutral. And he's like, oh, okay, it's in neutral now. And so I push him back into the spot, and I'm like, cut the wheel to the right, and I get him up in there. I'm like, now put the parking brake on and shift it back to park. And he does these things, and he gets out, and he's just like, he's overwhelmed, and he's like almost crying. He grabs me, and he hugs me. He's like, oh, thank you so much. I didn't know what to do. How did you know how to do all that? And I'm like, bro, I just had you put it in neutral, and then we pushed you into a parking spot. But instead of saying it like that, I was like, where are you from? Which might actually be more shitty now that I'm thinking about it. But like, how condescending. But I really wanted to know, like, how do you not know? Anyway, so got him out of the...
This is Andrew, everyone. He's a meteorologist, scientist, helper, good guy, and asshole.
Yeah, take your pick. Anyway, so I had him, who do you know? Call somebody or whatever. But that was happening all over town.
Yeah.
And people were... and as I'm walking away, he's like, you don't think I did any damage to the car, do you? Because it won't start at all now. And I'm like... And I'm thinking I should explain to him, like, the physics of how a motor works and what he just did to his car. And then I just go, it'll probably be all right. And I
yeah, you don't want to open that can of worms.
Exit stage left, you know. Yeah, I don't want to see him cry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Utah. He was from Utah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Does it? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just trying to be, I don't know.
A lot of rain, really quick. Watch your kids, folks.
Yeah.
So, the Funky Town podcast. I'm going to have to drill you guys about...
What is that?
I'm going to drill you guys.
The Funky Town.
Jesus Christ!
Podcast.
I did it again.
That was twice now.
No. I did it in a worse way. Whenever we did the scavenger hunt, I sent everybody a list of the 11 shows that were going to be involved, and number 2 was supposed to be the Funky Panther, and I put the Funky Town podcast.
It really hurt my feelings.
Why do I keep doing that?
I don't know.
The names are similar. You got to give me that.
I mean, is there a Funky Town podcast?
Yes.
There is, right?
Jeffrey Lord.
Yeah, of course. But no, I mean, we've got a Panther, though.
Yeah,
so.
The Funky Panther. Okay, so here we go. Back on track.
Yes, cannot wait.
My goal is to get you, Tim, and Javier in the hot seat so I can get one of you to say something really mean about the other people.
Okay, well,
which is basically
you just need to have Javier on. Isn't that what's going to happen?
No, Javier's not even allowed to say anything about you guys. Not on this show. He already did that. What was that, TFTI?
Yeah, he was on TFTI.
That was awful.
Yeah.
And we will never let him live that down.
No, I will not, for sure.
I've already interviewed the group of you together, so now I have to get the story individually, I guess.
Okay.
So, recapping the 100th episode, we went through the whole spiel of where you guys came from and how you met and what the show means to you and what the changes have been like over the years. But now I've got you in front of me, solo, Imano.
Yeah.
And let's hear the dirt. What do you got?
Javier's a nice guy. Love him to death. He's family. Tim could not even be any better. They're great. They're both great people.
Perfect.
Done.
Perfect. Done and done. Well, what do you guys have won now 2 of the past year's best podcast in Fort Worth through Fort Worth Weekly.
Yeah.
And now you guys are scheduled to win a 3rd time.
I don't know if we're don't put that juju on me, Ricky.
It's happening.
I don't think so. I mean, appreciate you, love you. It's a popularity contest. It means nothing. I mean, your show's got it going on, man. You've got everything in the right place, the right time. You got all sorts of stuff. Great guests. I mean,
obviously.
Well, no, until now. I mean, and it's very professional. We're just a bunch of goofballs just hanging out and talking shit. You know what I mean?
I want more bullshit.
On your show?
You remember? We're sitting there the temple at the Jerry Jonestown Massacre.
That's right.
One of the longest running podcasts in North Texas. They have 5 awards on their wall for being the best podcast.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean it in any kind of negative context. I was actually trying to pay a compliment. And you were the only one, I think, in the room that got it. But straight out of my mouth, I was like, I want more bullshit like on your show.
Like, y'all have plenty of bullshit. I don't think they took it bad. I think they knew.
I hope you're right.
They
but
knew.
If Dustin's listening, I love your show. Much respect. And you guys helped me get my show started just by doing what you're doing.
Same.
And it's a great show. And listeners need to go check that out. It's the Jerry Jonestown Massacre, and those guys are a riot.
And they bullshit. That's what they do. They know what they do.
But, over the last few months, I've had so many people tell me that they think my show is like super professional and things like that, and it kind of eats me alive. Cause,
oh, no. I shouldn't have said anything. No.
Well, I'm not aiming for super professional, but, we do want to have an eclectic group of people, and I don't want to scare anybody off by having people on like Javier. You know what I mean?
Well, you're going to scare away some fans. Just let you know.
Javier's coming, folks. Prepare yourselves.
Yeah. That's where you would insert a joke. Just let you know.
Love you, Javi. Bring your favorite shoes.
Oh, yeah. He's got plenty of them.
Just one pair.
Yeah.
Don't push it.
He's going to bring like a box full of shoes and kind of go through them all with you. No.
Oh, God, that threw me way off track. Well, I appreciate all the compliments, but I've already instructed the Fort Worth Roots listeners to make sure that they vote for you guys in the Fort Worth Weekly's Best of for 2023. Is that what we're voting on?
No, it's this year.
Is it 22?
Yeah, 2022.
Okay, I never know which way we're going with that. But so, and then at the event on September 10th, that will be the last day that you can vote for that.
Oh, wow.
Thing.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So I'm telling everybody at the event, like, y'all pull your phones out. I'll have the website in front of me. I'll put a note card together or something, and I'm going to have them type it up, go to the thing, and vote for you guys.
You're too damn kind. You got to stop. You got to stop.
Well, we need to get you in there for a 3rd year, and I don't want to debase any of the podcast listeners from Fort Worth on some fool's mission of trying to vote for the Fort Worth Roots podcast, and you guys deserve it.
Well, you do too. I don't want to take that away. And I know you put it on Instagram or whatever, or social media, something on social media.
All the things.
Right, all the things. You're like, go vote for the Funky Panther. And I was like, what are you trying to get at, bro? What's your end game here?
Well, here's my end game. I want to support my friends, and you guys have been such a positive force in my life. I told you guys that legitimately, y'all changed my perspective on local podcasters, because I thought everybody was an asshole. And I can't remember who put that notion in my head. I didn't write it down or blacklist anybody, but whenever I met you guys, y'all were just so nice and so kind, and you gave me stickers.
And we didn't even know who you were. We thought you were just a fan.
I was just a fan that day. But anyway, you guys have a hell of a podcast, and I hope you do it for many, 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 many more years. Let's get that projection out of the way. How long is this going to go on?
Man, I don't know. I will say that the 2 weeks that I was gone just now was a really nice break. I mean, I love doing what we do and just getting on the microphone every week on Tuesdays and doing our thing. But it's exhausting sometimes. It's exhausting.
I know.
And you've got way more projects. We just show up and talk. You've got like working on and like all this different stuff. No, this you gonna bleep that?
That's getting bleeped out.
Okay.
So he just said something that I had to bleep out. He gave away a secret, but there's going to be a big reveal on September 10th.
Well, excuse me.
Yeah.
Shut my stupid mouth.
No,
but no, you got so much going on, and we just show up, and it seems like it's overwhelming. But I don't know, man. As long as we continue to not hate each other.
Yeah, which that's not going to happen. Come on.
I mean, it's got close sometimes.
You guys are going to fight, man. That's best friend shit, you know?
Yeah.
Me and my best buds, we get into it sometimes, and then we just kind of throw our hands up, walk away, and go, whatever.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can, it's different when it's almost like people say don't start a business with your friends or your family sometimes, right? Because it's there's a lot of pressure and it's a lot of work. And then when someone's not pulling their weight and people get upset or vice versa, whatever it may be, it's a lot. But no, I think we'll be doing this for a long time to come. I definitely think we'll hit 200 episodes. You know what I mean? Like we're not even halfway to. I mean, we're just having a good time.
Yeah.
And as long as the three of us are still going to be in Fort Worth, which I've really liked being able to go and travel and do it. I was like, man, I'm going to start looking at these embassy jobs. But no, as long as we're all in Fort Worth, we're going to stay together and keep it going.
Yeah, that's excellent. I'm glad to hear it because we need you. We need you inside the podcast community. You guys are doing something exceptional. So.
Well, we appreciate it. It's been fun. Like you mentioned the 100th episode, but like that event was so much fun for me to see people connect that had not connected before. You know what I mean? Like musicians meeting podcasters and podcasters meeting business owners that they may. Same thing with we had that lunch that one day and we got to meet some people that you knew that I didn't know. And so like that is the biggest thing for me is like the connections and helping people connect. It's been a lot of fun. Like the podcast thing is just, it's fun. Yeah. But like it's been really cool to make all these connections. Yeah. Like this one.
Yeah,
bro.
No, absolutely.
Bro.
High fives. And then you guys getting hooked up with Amplify 817 has been a really good partnership. I'm amazed every time I see you guys doing something at Tulips with them or, like that thing y'all did with, were y'all on the stage at Will Rogers with Bency Jones and everybody doing like a event coverage, like a promotional before?
I don't think so. I wasn't here.
Oh, okay.
So, but I don't think they did.
There's a video with Bency Jones doing some kind of weird, that was at
Tulips.
WWF.
That was at Tulips.
Promotional thing.
He came out and like had this voice, and everyone's like, "What the hell's going on?" Like he didn't tell anybody.
You were there for that, right?
No, that was I wasn't at Tulips or the Amplify 817 event, but he came out. Being all weird. I love him to death. He is just a bizarre guy. Like he's so funny. But yeah, he said he was just gonna like tear everyone apart. Like it was a contest. He was gonna win the concert. I was like, you're gonna win the concert? Like what are you talking about? But it was pretty damn hilarious. It was good stuff.
I think did Tim put that video together?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was hilarious. Yeah, and I talked to Teresa from the Fort Worth Library Amplify 817, and she was saying like you said, nobody knew what was going on, and it was super awkward. And then Tim put that video together, and it looked so cool on this end,
Right. No, from what I understood, the audience there was very confused and like, what the hell is going on? Like, we know this isn't his voice. Like, he's been on the show before. Like, this isn't his voice. But yeah.
Bency, is your blood sugar low? What's happening, buddy? Come back to us. Come back. Jesus. Yeah, I can't imagine how odd that must have been. But anyway, the end product was awesome. But y'all doing things like that is what I'm talking about. Yeah. I mean, you give me a lot of props. Like I'm knocking out of the park. Personally, knocking it out of the park. Personally, I don't see it. But what y'all are doing, especially with those little videos and stuff and working your ass off with Amplify to help promote what they're doing, which I think is great. That's knocking it out of the park. You guys are making big moves too.
Well, thanks, man. We just keep pulling each other up. You know what I mean? Let's
Absolutely.
Just pull each other up because we're all doing big things.
And the last thing we got to talk about is this event. You guys are co-hosting this 100th episode release party at Pouring Glory on the 10th. We're gonna have to sit down and come up with like a format.
Yeah.
And we got like 2 weeks. So
we got 3 weeks, right?
2.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, it's coming up quick.
Yeah.
For sure. Let's do that soon.
So maybe
I'm gonna get anxious about it.
Nah, don't. We'll figure it out. We'll pull our shit together right there at the last minute.
Perfect.
I was thinking that we would do like a 100th, like y'all's 100th episode where we did a recording.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do that out there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm gonna set up a 10 by 10 and table and all that, and it'll be like the Funky Panther area. So. I said it right that time, right?
You did.
You gave me a look, and I was like,
no, I would have slapped you right across the face like I got slapped yesterday. I would have nailed you.
Who slapped you?
Were you not there yet at Concrete Cowboy?
Well, I don't remember you getting slapped.
Yes.
Who slapped you?
The waitress.
Did you deserve it?
No. It was like a thing. She was like, "What shot do you want?" I'm like, "I don't know, whatever." And they're like, "Do you have anything fun that's Concrete Cowboy?" And they're like, "We do this thing where you take a shot, they throw water in your face, and they slap you across the face." I'm like, "Whatever." And she did it, and my face was throbbing. Like, she hit hard.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you had gone already, or I don't know.
I don't know either. I did not see that.
Yeah.
Because I probably would have bitten her like a mongoose. Get off it, Chad!
No, it was part of the thing. And then Javier, of course, he wanted to do it. And so she did it to Javier, too.
Her poor hand.
I know. How
much do you have to pay for that?
A shot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to throw that off.
I want to start doing a thing where y'all have, what y'all's day for recording?
Tuesdays.
Okay. I'm going to start doing all my recordings on, I believe, Saturdays.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to have a revolving list of co-hosts for the thing. So if you'd like to jump on that, I'd love to have you in here.
Hell yeah.
Kind of cross-analyzing some potential guests. So.
Yeah, for sure. I saw you did that with Sam, right? From the Failed Podcast?
Yes, and he will definitely be in that rotation. I love Sam.
He's great too, yeah.
If y'all haven't got a chance to check out Sam at the Failed Podcast, that is an excellent show put on by a very interesting dude. He's going to be in the rotation, and I think Genevieve even said she wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So we'll see if she's still up for that. She's also going to be at the event, so that'll be cool. It's going to be a good time, and I'm glad you guys are getting involved.
Well, thank you for having us a part of it, because we are very much looking forward to it. There's a Killers concert that night, and I'm already selling my tickets because it is...
Well, hold on. What time is the concert?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter because this is 1 to 6. We can still go see the Killers.
Yeah, we could go... I do have an extra ticket.
Well,
we'll see
seriously, what time does it start?
7:30. But like...
It's perfect.
Yeah, but like, what if we want to party and celebrate you and continue to celebrate with people
we'll party with the Killers
that want to celebrate you? I don't think the Killers are going to show up, dude.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll catch the Killers next time. Then.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Well, that works.
It's a whole day about you. I know you've made it a bunch of, all these businesses and things, which is always really cool. You're always doing great, But this is a you day. It needs to be, it's like a birthday.
And I'm trying to curve it to be more about Fort Worth's podcast scene.
Right.
It's loosely about the 100th episode, but that's just an excuse to get everybody
Stop being
together.
so damn humble and just accept the fact that 100th episode is a big deal, and we're going to be celebrating you.
Excellent. All right. Let's get out of here, Chad.
All right, man.
Fort Worth. Jesus Christ. Today. Just all day today. Fort Worth Roots listeners, thank y'all for being here, Chad. We love you, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace. Legitimately one of the nicest people, most sincere individuals you're ever going to meet on this earth. Chad Butler, thank you for being on the Fort Worth Roots podcast. Guys, gals, I'm not kidding. Go to the Best of Fort Worth Weekly and make sure that you vote for the Funky Panther. These guys deserve to win. This is the best show we've got in Fort Worth right now. There's plenty of other amazing podcasts in Fort Worth, but we want to stand behind our buddies and make sure that they win their third year. And then next year, we're going to pick somebody else. They can fight, they can scream, but we'll pick somebody else next year. They're asking, why are you standing behind us? Why don't you try to get your show as best of Fort Worth podcast? I'm not interested, and I don't want to debase their support, So let's rally. Let's all go out and let's vote for the right podcast. These guys put a lot of time and effort into this thing, and it's my favorite. Should be yours too. All right, that's the Funky Panther. Go vote. Chad Butler, thank you so much. We are looking to have the other two on, Tim and Javier. I can already tell you that the Javier episode is going to come with a parental advisory. I'm also going to get a beep button loaded into the old Roadcaster so that whenever he starts going off, I can just mash that button like a gas pedal on a go-kart. You're warned, Javier. It's coming. All right, announcements. Ladies and gentlemen, Pouring Glory, September 10th, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is a free event, but you are going to want to bring some cash because you're going to want to buy one of these $3 beers. They have incredible food, too. There's going to be a special menu, and the owner, Scott, out there at Pouring Glory, is putting that together just for this event. There's a lot of stuff that has been put into this for you, and I just don't want you to miss it. So make sure you put this on your calendar. Oh, I ran out of air. September 10th, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. And in a striking turn of events, I got on Facebook, and I was looking for other events that are happening September 10th. And I found out that there's like a whole citywide thing that happens every year. And guess what? It is September 10th. Now, I don't know about all these other people or the other venues or things that are going on, but I did run into Rebecca Lau. It's spelled L-O-W. Rebecca Lau. And she has a gallery over there on Camp Bowie. And I reached out to her. I said, hey, you've got an event going on. I've got an event going on. Yours is from 12 to 9. Mine's from 1 to 6. Could we do a cross-promotion thing? Kind of send some people your way, and there goes my phone. That's okay. Let me turn this off. How do they even have this number? I'll delete this. Hold on, maybe I won't. Hello?
Hi, this is Ryan. Thanks for being an electric customer in the Fort Worth area. Since
Ryan.
the RPS policy is
Ryan.
passed, the local and federal
I just got this number, dude. I activated it an hour ago. How are you doing this?
programs in Texas. It won't cost you a penny to switch to solar.
How do I get off your list?
Since it supports our new
Man, that blew my train of thought. Fort Worth Roots also has a new phone number. I'll be putting that on business cards and other things here very soon. But I just needed a internet connection, and I like mobile hotspots. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so the free event, September 10th, 1 to 6 p.m., and then Rebecca Lau is going to be at 12 to 9. I will make sure that her information is included in this episode. Please, God, Andrew, don't forget. And she is going to send people our way for the event, and we're going to send people her way for her event. I thought this was a really cool idea. She thought it was a cool idea, and now we're going to be doing stuff with Rebecca at her art gallery. So how damn cool is that? Yeah, just out here making friends. Our sponsors, people you need to know about, Woodpost Metalworks is giving you 10% off whenever you use podcast 817 as the code at checkout. They have a plasma cutter. They do light steel fabrication and custom artwork with their plasma cutter. If you need a sign for your business, if you just need something nice, heavy, sturdy, really badass gift idea, go to woodpostmetalworks.com and see their full catalog of stuff that they got available. And, if it's not available and you got an idea that you think they could probably do for you, they do custom stuff. So these would be the people to help you with that, the plasma cutter and the custom metal works. They also do gate and fence repair and all sorts of cool stuff. So check them out. That's woodpostmetalworks.com, and you'll never meet nicer people. These are just really good folk. Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk. He is currently giving you 50% off on roofing tune-ups. What they do is they come out, they take a look at your roof, and they'll seal stuff up. Now, another thing they will do, if they get up there and it doesn't need anything, there's no charge. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm wrong, then you can be mad at me and Darren can be mad at me too, but I believe that's what he told me. If he gets up there and you don't need anything, he will happily come down, tell you that your roof was just put on like 6 months ago, and then he'll give you a business card and he'll leave, right? But if he gets up there and you just need a little bit of attention, you're getting 50% off of that. And I told him that I wasn't comfortable giving out prices because maybe it's different for different situations. So anyway, just know that all you have to do is say, hey, I heard about you on the Fort Worth Roots podcast, and he's going to give you 50% off on that roofing tune-up. And here's why you do that. I actually had a friend. I'm not going to say his name. I don't think he would mind, but I didn't get permission. So, but he had a leak, and he called me up. He's like, hey, I know you got a roofer. It's like, man, he could have found it on Facebook. He could have found it on one of the episodes, but he called me directly, which is 100% fine. And I got him hooked up with Darren. What had happened was he has some kind of leak on his roof, probably some caulking around a pipe or a vent or something like that. Water intrusion got inside his house and was dripping onto his ceiling, right? So now he's got all this, what's holding up your ceiling? Drywall, material stuff. I don't even know what's up there. What is your ceiling? Anyway, it was ruining his ceiling. It was water coming into his home. And it's not because his roof was bad, probably. But he just had some opening somewhere around a pipe or a vent or something. Now, that's what the roofing tune-up is about. He's probably going to have a little bit of water damage there, and it's going to cost him some money. But if he had one of these roofing tune-ups, somebody from Darren's crew would have come out there, and with the experience of knowing what to look for, they would have sealed up the pipes, the vents, and anything else that might have been an opening for water intrusion, and he could have avoided all that. Now, I'm not talking crap about my buddy here. It happens to all of us. But this is a really good way to prevent that kind of situation. Meet a great roofer, allow him to come out and introduce himself, and while he's there, he'll pop up, take a look at the roof. You'll get 50% off of an already great deal. And if he doesn't find anything, I believe he told me that he'll hop down off that roof and you won't owe him anything. But the other side of that is you just save probably a ton of money, because if you got a spot in your roof where water can get in, it will get in, and then you got damage. Nobody wants that. Houk Walker Originals. You can find them at houkwalker.com. Check out the many beautiful and original gift ideas online today at that website. Again, that's houkwalker.com. They showed up to the podcast event with custom made cups, the big, I think they're 40-something ounce cups, thermal insulated, whatever, but laser etched. They've got the laser etchy technology. They can put all sorts of custom stuff on there, your business logo, your name, whatever you want. And they've got all sorts of variations of this on their website and a ton of other stuff. It's not just cups. They got a lot of great ideas. Go check them out, houkwalker.com. You're going to love it. And the last thing before we get out of here, go check out Rebecca Lau Sculpture Gallery. The website is Rebecca Lau, that's REBECCALOW.com. I've driven past this place 1,000 times on Camp Bowie here in Fort Worth, and today I got to go inside and wasn't really prepared for that. It's like its own little museum right there. It's an art gallery. That's what it is. But you just wouldn't expect to walk into that. They've got a very awesome, very spacious display floor right there as you walk in the front door. And then if you continue on, there is an entire outdoor area. And I should have taken pictures of this. Next time I'm out there, I'll snap a few photos. But Rebecca has her own Easter Island, what do they call those? The statue heads. I walked out there and I was like, oh, Stonehenge. And she's like, try again. I was like, oh, Easter Island. The heads, the big heads. Anyway, she's got her version of that. And you should go out there and check this thing out. It's really cool. She has occupied this building. She built it herself for 25 years now. And it's very creative, very interesting. And I'm glad that we have something like this right here in Fort Worth. And if Rebecca's listening, thank you so much for inviting me into your studio and having me out today. It was nice to meet you, and it was really cool to see your studio. Looking forward to working with you guys. And if you guys are still listening, shout out to all the awesome podcasters that have been promoting the hell out of the September 10th event. The amount of support that we're getting for this is just incredible. And I hope that you get to come out and meet some of these people that are doing these cool things and really promoting the hell out of this show. It's going to be awesome. Glad that you're coming. Glad that you're going to be there. I'm really excited to have Late to the Station, The Gray, Itchy Richie and the Burning Sensation, and my own personal favorite local comedian, Kate Grayhouse. She just said yes without even thinking about it, which is a little terrifying, but also very flattering. So Anyway, it was the same with the bands too. Late to the Station, The Gray, Itchy Richie, and The Burning Sensation. I didn't think I'd have any issue getting performers to come out and help us with this event, but I was actually really surprised at how quickly I was able to get performers to come out and help us with this event. So shout out to those guys. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you make it out. It's going to be great. I got more details coming down the pipe as we get closer. I'm going to be working nonstop on this. Right up to the last minute. So if you want to hear more details and find out exactly what's going on, check us out on the Fort Worth Roots Facebook page. At the very top of the Facebook page, I have pinned the event. And if you click on that event, there are posts inside that event where I'm talking about what's going on with the event. So all of that is there for you. There will be more and more and more right up to the very, 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 very last minute. So. All right, that's enough talking out of me. Thank y'all for being here, and I will see you next week. Peace.